When times are tough, neighbor joining hands with neighbor is the source of Oklahoma's strength. Always has been.
A lot of tribes, they are really focusing upon taking things from, farm to table type of aspects. They're having their community gardens, they're creating meat processing plants in order to process their own meats. Not only does that generate jobs and economic development, but that's going to ensure that food is there and available to folks in that area.
We went right to what they call food sovereignty. About 5 years ago, we started working on acquiring land for cattle and bison, and we've been very successful on that. We decided to concentrate on a food program where we had a meat packing plant, and then where we had greenhouses, we had aquaponics farms.
If there's another supply chain break, we just truck them in right off the ranch into our own facility, and that way our people and then the local communities will not run out of meat. Additionally, it's a lot of ranch land, a lot of ranchers, a lot of farm folks up there. So, they're gonna bring us their own cattle and process for their families. We've got a 40,000 square foot greenhouse now. It'll be able to produce about 46,000 pounds of produce every year.
So this is not the first time we've had a pandemic, and it will not be the last. We set a priority for our services for our own people with an eye on how to engage in partnerships and benefit the community, because we are all part of one community.
You look at things like food insecurity. We now know that in some parts of the region, the need is even greater than we thought. That means going forward, even after COVID recedes, we need to increase our efforts. And now we know a bit more about the nature of the problem. I think those sorts of things are lessons that we can take out of COVID, and we can build stronger communities going forward based on what we've learned.
We've actually expanded our food distribution efforts for the last nearly year now and delivered millions of meals to individuals. For elders that have been locked in their house and haven't been able to get out, we actually deliver those boxes to their individual households.
We did a number of food programs throughout the pandemic that was just anyone in the community that wanted to come through. The general public, unless you've ever faced it, don't realize how many people are food insecure in our state, and how many kids are food insecure. And we had people driving through like that too, that would just thank you from the bottom of their heart. I've never had to do this. I've never had to worry about food. A lot of the work we did, across our communities during that time, and food was huge for our citizens, huge for our communities.
Throughout rural America, there are people who are having to drive 30 and 40 miles to go to the grocery store. The Choctaw Nation identified several food deserts. We now operate 3 grocery stores in locations, small towns where the free market would not have supplied a grocery store.
One of the things I think we've learned during this pandemic is that working together, look how much we've accomplished. Hopefully the people that have lived through this and learned what we could do if we work together will be the emerging leaders of tomorrow and really make things happen.
Oklahoma thrives together.